Hey, it's all right. Oh, that I think we are live on all three platforms. So that is really cool. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? So we'll just do. Jay's just going to do some socials for a live stream, and then we'll start actually recording. Oh yeah, I just got the notifications.
Very
Oh,
nice.
Jay, can you do a quick thing when you've done the socials?
Uh-huh.
Unless you've already done it because you're smart. Channel point redemption turned off.
Already done.
Oh wow, look at you. All right, thank you very much. All right. Is everybody let me know when you're done with socials, Jay, and we'll
Yep.
I've just retweeted it and stuff, so that's all
Oh.
good.
Awesome. I'll do the same.
And I just need to re-upload I just need to upload a new thumbnail for
For what, darling?
YouTube.
Oh, why is it gone to a different stream?
It's gone to the default one, so I'm just going
Oh,
to.
okay. I wonder if there's a way we can fix that. But hey, it's all right for now.
Yeah, we'll get figured out.
Just try to find the post. What have you posted to?
Oh, I'm about. And Apollina, hey, how are you doing, Apollina? Good to see you.
Welcome on in, Apollina.
I've done Blue Sky and X. I'm doing Mastodon now.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. Should I be disappointed, but X got done before Mastodon?
I mean, everyone's just putting me in for a lot of different reasons.
What's that,
It's
sorry?
a joke. Everyone's just putting me for a lot of different reasons. So
I
No,
saw
no.
unrelated. I saw Cody live streamed his usual stream on X as well.
I did.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. Which is now I think that's probably because he pays for premium, and I would imagine.
Yes, and it was very nice of him. He shouted out the UI Chat podcast, which is very nice. Not good of him. So
that's nice. Well,
yeah.
we'll be doing the same because I've got a thing to. I'm gonna. I'm honestly going to engineer. Oh, I can't eat. Oh, that's annoying. Let me see if I can get into Blue Sky. Give me a second because it's logged me out for. Oh, I know why it's logged me out because I'm not in my streaming profile. That's why.
Coffee, it's good to see you, Coffee.
Oh, look at all these awesome people coming in. I
So
love this.
on Riverside, where it says live stream chat, is that all the platforms
Yeah.
together, or is it something? Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now we're technically not, so we can't show that whole chat on Twitch. I think we're allowed to highlight individual messages, but we can't show Twitch's silly terms and conditions.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, because we're still exclusive to Twitch, so.
And I don't think that changes no matter what we do it.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling too well, but we are not angry, just disappointed. Oh gosh!
I just want everybody.
Oh, okay. Why? Okay, so there is a bit of a lag with this stream. So bear with us, folks. It might not be the best quality, but the recording is going to be amazing.
Sounds because, even if it happens, Jax, we have it recorded in a different place, so it's all good.
It's not even going to trigger. It's not going to trigger because it's not coming through meld. So good shout, Jax. All right. Are we ready to start actually recording the podcast itself?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. You ready, Jay? That means
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready. Squidward.
Oh God. All right, here we go. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crosswires, the technology variety show that brings you, to be fair, in the last couple of episodes, mostly Apple news. We do have other content available, and we've got some really great stuff in the pipeline. We've got some stuff on 3D printing. We've got some stuff on art work and developing a game as a developer, which is really cool. And we've even got our wonderful friend Sonata has taken us through a whole. I'm not going to call it an episode. I'm going to call it a
audio experience.
An audio experience through the music of gaming.
It's actually really cool, and he helped me see some things I didn't know about. And it's like you don't think about that before. Like, it's quite impressive, and I got to say, I'm very excited to get to that episode. I mean, maybe you mentioned it, and maybe I was zoned out. But we have one with our friend Donnie, who is
I
doing.
did just mention that one. That is okay. So look, folks, here we go. We are back, the dream team, for your Apple events. Now,
And
this
I just
wasn't really.
realized the only
Go on.
downside is Apple Intelligence could have told me what you could have summarized what you just said, and it failed me.
So
It
good.
doesn't get British accents yet.
Well, we don't even get Apple Intelligence, and that's actually something we're going to talk about. We don't get Apple Intelligence until December.
I already have it.
Oh, well, then save it for the later in the show.
Okay.
All right. So I think Jay's very excited because there's a lot of good stuff going on in Jay's life at the moment, and ours actually all together. So let me introduce the panel because that's really important. But I was going to say, sorry, this wasn't really an Apple event. It was a series of Apple announcements over a couple of days, and then maybe a bonus one if we press release as well, which we'll see. But let me introduce my fantastic, of course, my fantastic, beautiful co-host and fiance Jay. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing good. I'm just fidgeting with my MagSafe pop socket.
Are you sponsored by MagSafe? Is Apple giving you a MagSafe?
Well, I mean, I'm
sponsorship?
using a MagSafe camera now, so I'm using. I've got a MagSafe stand. My car has MagSafe. It's MagSafe is so much nicer.
I hope you bought your mum a MagSafe card wallet because you used her card for everything.
No, it was my money.
No, that's fine. It's all good. I'm winding you up. Right.
Yeah, you know how to do that, and at least I can hear you on better internet because we got up to we have to this internet to a gig.
Yeah, but you're still not a gig down.
I
Gig
know.
up. You're only, what is it, 40?
At least, everyone has told me that they don't want me to be as down as I was before. So now I'm only down like 45 megabits per second.
That'd be your upstream, darling.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right. Okay. Anyway, someone's meds are working well today. Anyway, Alex, how are you doing? Alex, so go on.
Doing all right, thank you. Yeah, pretty good.
Of course, Alex Lowe from the Interface, our go-to guru for Apple events and Apple announcements, and of course anything networking. I think was it like 2 hours on Friday night? Me and you were just chatting about networking and
yeah, pretty much.
advice.
Well, and I think that my Unify access point above me is actually it's saying Alex Lowe UI chat, Alex Lowe UI chat.
If Alex has managed to get access points to promote his podcast, that'd be a whole new level of marketing.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Oh, no, there you go, Alex. I've got an idea, merch idea for you and for UI chat. The shells for the U6.
I like that. Yeah,
I like that.
Custom branded. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Do you know what? Could you? I mean, because they've got the. Do they still do shells for the U6? I think they do, don't they? The covers.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because 3D print. Okay, where we go.
3D print some stuff. Yeah, big idea.
Ooh, like it. All right. Anyway, so let's talk about the sort of a key thing here. Three new. Well, do we say 3 new pieces of Apple hardware? 3 updates? How do you want to describe this?
I think like the first one is it was about like the Apple Intelligence launch, so stuff to existing hardware and devices.
Yeah, there was an update to exist. There was one brand new device and 2 in the car world facelifts. So like spec bumps.
That is true.
So yeah.
And it wasn't, it wasn't really a new product. It was a redesign of it was a new generation of a product.
That's true.
But we were talking, I think it was the other night, but I'm sure it might have been, but we were talking about how a lot of the Mac sites, a lot of tech journalists are saying, actually, we really like this one device on one day, one device the next day. It's like, we're going to start a week of, announcements. Yeah.
It's the Apple Holy Week.
It's good. One of the guys, I can't remember his name, from Mac Room, he mentioned, I think on Tuesday, that he is to get written content out. It makes life a lot easier because you just got one thing to write about. for them, for people in America, it's in the morning. So you write about it in the morning, and then you've got the whole entire day to sort of discover all the weird stuff that's happened, like the extra bits and pieces, the bonus things with the hardware. So you compare that to writing about WWDC or an iPhone event, it is chaos. Especially for if you're on our time zone, it's like 6 p.m. and then I remember back in the day when I used to write about Apple stuff more than I do now. I just get RSI after about 3 hours of just doing stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is a really good point, and it does mean it's also easier to. I mean, right from a production point of view of a podcast, when I'm doing my show notes, I can actually link to individual announcement videos as well because and we're on YouTube, which is really nice. So what we've done on YouTube is we've done the announcement, and then we've done like the product trailer as well.
Oh, the ad, yeah,
the ad, which is really nice. So, I mean, the first thing I want to talk about with all these products is something that I think is long past due. Every new Mac that you can buy right now starts at least 16 gigabytes of RAM.
That is true.
It's good. Like you mentioned the other day, that even the M2 MacBook Air, which isn't even the current version, has been spec bumped, which I wouldn't have expected. And what's quite nice about this, it isn't just a RAM boost; it's a graphics boost as well because of how unified memory works. So you get a lot of benefits, and that probably has a tie into Apple Intelligence. I'm not sure if that uses a GPU for processing. I'm not really sure, but you get a benefit. Yeah, it's about time. So.
No, it makes sense. And of course, there'll be, I think Apple Intelligence use a lot of the neural engine, but yeah, it would make a perfect sense to use the GPU as well. But I think it's good. Now, one of our community made a really good point in just one of our posted in the cybersecurity channel, which was a bit random, but fair enough. Because our Discord community, crosswires.net/Discord, we've got little channels for everything. They're saying, I was really tempted by one of the new Mac Minis, which we'll come to, but the storage still starts at 256 gig, and Apple storage prices on the upgrades are hefty.
Yeah. I think the difference is, I think with that, it's not just a SATA SSD or an NVMe, it's soldered onto the motherboard. So they probably have to, as a build, it's not excusable, but like there's probably some reason why those chips are probably quite high end. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, actually. I mean, Jay, what your M1, because you're still on an M1 Mini at this point, right? What did you go with SSD wise when you bought that?
I went with, and actually, I think 256, or I'm trying to look at what I have on my info.
Because I went 512 on this one. What about you, Alex, on your? Because you've got two M machines, haven't you? I think.
The M1 iMac I've got, I think 1 terabyte was the base of the iMac. I'm not sure though.
Okay. No, it can't. No,
can't have been.
No,
I went for 1 terabyte because.
Okay, 512 on this one.
Okay.
Nice.
So, and I think that would, I'm going to be honest, that for me would have been something I would have liked Apple to have done. 512 as a baseline. I think in this day and age.
Yeah. I mean, well, no. Okay, take it this way.
Okay.
What about a lot of the things being cloud service? A lot of people are in the cloud nowadays, and a lot of things are in the cloud. And there is a use case where people don't have to put everything on their device. Now, applications are huge, but cloud based.
So I've got 2 Macs. I use both of them very differently. My iMac is a video production machine. I work all day on that and all the various stuff. So it's full of video files I'm about to edit and offload and stuff. But my MacBook is more of I treat it like a Chromebook. It's more of a remote machine, and it's got nothing on it really. It's got iCloud Drive information that gets synced and deleted whenever.
Okay.
But I went for I think I went for a terabyte on it anyway, to be safe. But there's like 80 gigs on it, so I use that very much like a cloud person would.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. I think maybe I'm just storage conscious because we fill up quite a lot of storage with assets for streams and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'd be amazed how much stuff actually. Well, I think it's just because we've got quite a lot of it, isn't it, Jay? We've got quite a lot of graphics files for the streams.
Yeah, I actually had to move them into under my SSD because it was taking up too much space on my main hard drive.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. But let's talk then about because we talked about SSD. You both make a really good point. 256 gig. If you're treating it like a browser computer, I mean, we've got a client. I think did we only get them a 256?
I think we
gig?
did because
Yeah,
honestly, they don't use that much on that computer.
that is very true.
But
sorry,
having
go
said
on.
that, it has been a long time since they increased the base. Because when I ordered my first MacBook, it was the 11-inch 2015. The base on that was 128,
Mm-hmm.
and I went up to 256, and 512 was the top. So
Right.
it's been a long time since they've increased the base storage.
You are
So
right.
maybe one time they'll do it. Maybe one day they'll do it. So
Could be in the next generation. But that said, I mean, 256 gig is still pretty reasonable. And
Mm.
especially if you're not installing the Pro apps, if you're not installing Final Cut and other things like that, then yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
The one interesting thing I just thought about is
Yeah.
things like gaming. They're trying to talk about gaming, and yet they don't have a cloud gaming setup yet. So installing all those games would take up a lot of space on the 256, unless what if one of the Macs that they go the Apple TV route of automatically archiving things you don't use?
That would be interesting. But I think at that point, and actually, to
Mm.
combat that, when you think about how tiny external SSDs over USB C and Thunderbolt 4, Thunderbolt 5, as we'll come to, actually, not really a problem. You can get a really cheap USB C, which I mean is what 5 or 10 gigabits, just depending on the flavor you get. You can get an enclosure for an NVMe SSD for about £20, maybe $30.
And speaking of speaking of USB C,
Mm-hmm.
they've unveiled some
yeah.
new USB-C accessories. The one I'm still very disappointed on, Apple. You either like bottoms or you keep bringing out the magic mouse with the charging on the bottom of it. It's like you have to then, yeah.
Oh, okay. Can I say one thing to that? On the Magic Mouse, okay. Where else would you put the charging port? Because it's so thin, you'd have to either put it. So this is not a Magic Mouse, of course. But let's pretend this is.
Okay, Alex has a magic mouse. Let's have
Alex has a Magic Mouse. Okay, there we go. So
on the side, even
do the QVC sort of style stuff. Like,
there we go. Yeah.
This can be yours, but we're calling 1855 crosswires.
1855. Okay, so that's obviously on the bottom. You could. It would be in. Where would you put it? On the side?
Maybe the side, or
there's been a lot of arguments about this on Twitter this week.
Yes.
Last week.
Yes.
But
didn't you say it doesn't bother you?
So, I think we mentioned this before on the podcast, but when it tells me it's dead, when it tells me it needs charging, that will last you about another day.
Yeah.
So I just plug it in when I'm finished for the day, and I've never run out.
Yeah.
And it lasts months. It lasts months, to be fair.
Well, I think good battery. Yeah.
You just have to be a little bit organised.
which, to be fair, most creators aren't. To be fair, so you know.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah. Like literally. No, it's a very valid point. I think I was saying to you, Alex, the other day, it would be really cool if it'd been able to do like MagSafe charging on that mouse.
This is true. But then you've got to have some sort of weird pad.
And that would probably use a track it. Well, no, you can just put it on your existing mag. Yeah, fair point. Anyway. Oh, but it still means actually it doesn't solve a problem because you still wouldn't be able to use it.
No.
While it was charging. So actually, moot point. It's great to see. I think we're nearly at a point where everything is USB-C now.
The only thing that isn't is obviously the old phones they still sell. So the SE and the 10R. I don't know they sell the 10R anymore. No, that's going back way far. I don't know what they sell.
I think they sell the 13 still, don't they?
Yeah.
So the SE and the 13 are still Lightning. All right, let's talk the first big product, and this is a big product out of all of them, the iMac. Now, I mean, Alex, you've got one of these design iMacs, right? You've got.
I got the M1 version. So this is the third version of this new shape design. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually quite a relatively long time for Apple to keep an iMac design. I might be wrong on that.
No, so the the original. Well, it's not the original. The last version before this one was the one that I recall as being. They had like friction stir welding, so it was the one with the very small 5mm edge
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the bowing out. So that was 2012 up until
Good
2021.
point. Yes.
2020, I think, or 2021. One of the two.
Yeah.
So
You are right. Yeah.
yeah. But with this one, they've refreshed the colors, which is quite nice. So it's almost like they've increased the contrast on some of the colors, which is
The
nice.
purple one. Oh,
Yeah.
ho, ho, ho.
Jay's itching to buy. So there's a bit of a running joke, right? Jay's itching to buy one. You don't need one, but Jay's not itching to buy one for herself. She's just waiting for a machine at one of our clients to die.
Yeah, so I can be like,
Ah.
hey, purple iMac.
But except the business owner does not like purple.
No,
I see.
it'd be blue.
It'd have to
But
be.
what's that?
But
It's just look.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, this is also gorgeous blue.
So now then, they've kept the design the same. They've kept. Now I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. This has some of the Intel. Obviously, it's now got the M4.
Mhm.
So starting at 16 gig, it's got a improved 12 megapixel center stage camera. So they bumped the camera up on
Yep.
the iMac. Great.
That's good.
And I think it's not gone to Thunderbolt 5, has it? It's just Thunderbolt 4 on the iMac.
It's pretty much the same, to be honest.
Right.
It seems like it's just the M4 chip. There was some addition that you can run 3 displays at the same time. There was
Oh,
some mention-
including the main one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that really makes me like the iMac is I haven't found an affordable display that looks as good as that.
Oh,
Like it sort of blends in the background, but I always just that's one of the reasons why I got it because the display is so nice.
what is it? 4.5K? They're calling it.
4.5K, 24-inch. It doesn't get quite as bright as I'd like it to.
Right.
So I don't know if the new ones are any brighter, but that's one of the reasons why I like it. And it is so small, like slim wise. So yeah, it's a nice little refresh. The camera, the colors, the USB-C accessories, and the ports are the same. But
And we noticed that on the previous gens, some of the colors were only available in the upper configs.
I couldn't tell you what colors were only
No.
available in those configs, but the very base one without Ethernet, it was only some 4 colors or something along those lines. So
And I don't think it was. I can't remember, but I think it was very limited in the color choices. But still got that really cool sort of magnetic power
cable.
cord that goes down to because right. So when you've got that on your desk, right? Obviously, you've got stuff plugged into it, but in some if you haven't got external peripherals and you're just using the wireless mouse keyboard, then one of the things I really like is that power brick holds the Ethernet.
Yep.
Now, from a cabling point of view in a business, that's got to be good, right? Because most of your Ethernet sockets are going to be floor level, unless you've got, like a desk switch mounted underneath, like some people do.
Yeah. So it makes things easier for me because my iMac's right up against the wall here, and then I if I need to change Ethernet cables out, which I do quite a lot for testing, I just have to get into the desk and plug it in. So yeah, makes it a bit easier.
No, I mean it's a great. The only thing is, of course, if something were to, I guess one challenge with that design is what happens if you accidentally break your Ethernet port? Do you have to get, which is unlikely, I know, but
well, you just have to get a new power brick.
Yeah,
which is easier than replacing the whole iMac.
Very good point. Actually,
Yeah.
no,
That is-
that is
yeah.
valid. That is. Sorry, yeah, you are quite right because that's what you would have had to do in the past. Okay.
Yeah, so when I used to work at my old job,
Mm.
there were some of the engineers we had. They'd obviously be installing customers with internet. The amount of times they'd input and out and pull out the Ethernet port, it would break within a few months.
Wow.
Just use USB adapters for it instead. So it's not a very robust interface really. So
No, and it's so easy. I've got cables stuck in adapters, and it's not like
yeah,
when you think how old our J40, sorry, registered Jack 45 is. Anyway, honestly, I think that is a great iMac. Now, so it's a great computer. They gave a really good example of where its use case is a family
right.
computer.
yes, I'm not sure how common that is anymore, but it's a nice idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think well, maybe for younger families,
Yeah.
but also certainly, maybe, a couple in a small apartment. I mean, Jay and I are probably going to end up sharing at least one computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know.
I like now it'll have to be purple.
You want my purple, don't you? You
I
just want my
do.
purple. You want my
But-
purple.
I will say I like how it harkens back to the original IMAX because it really makes me it brings back that feel because like the white and aluminum ones were okay, but I like that these make it feel
Mhm.
much more fun.
They have that because I was watching a video by our friend Sean from Action Retro about how the original G3 IMAX, the inner sort of support frame is like crumbling. But looking at those, I'm like, that's because remember the advertisement there was hello, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
did anyone else notice all through every single event they started it off with hello again?
Hello,
Oh
is it
yeah.
me?
You're looking for yes. You had me at hello, which that was going to be the title for this episode. I think just hello is simple enough.
We missed out one thing though.
Oh yeah.
The iMac new one has a option of a nano texture display.
Oh.
Yes. So this is what was started off, if I remember correctly, the nanotexture started off on the Pro Display XDR
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
and then moved down the line. But that it's basically a very fancy term. And I know it's more complicated for the matte screen, isn't it? It's
Yeah, you can get it on the iPad Pro. You can get
Mm.
it on some of the stuff we'll talk about in a minute. But the iMac, yeah, it's interesting because it's a consumer device, but more than a Pro one. But
I'm
as I said,
gonna-
I use my M1 one for video editing, so it's fine.
well, I was going to challenge you ever so slightly on that because you're right.
I know.
But with the Apple Silicon factor,
Yeah, they're very powerful now.
photo studios, right?
Yeah,
Bank
yeah.
of those on a desk for photographers. They are a great device. But yeah, obviously that adds more to the cost. And it's still I think it's still $12.99 for the base iMac now, isn't it?
Is this US pricing?
US pricing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It starts at $12.99 with 16 gigabytes of UFS memory.
That makes sense. Which is again, everything's starting. What's the UK price? Can someone just double check me? I'm relying on Alex to do that rather than Jay.
Yeah,
trying to VPN.
I've got it open. So it says $12.99.
Okay.
Oh yes, it's always the same.
Because of a VAT.
So we end up paying more actually.
We
as that
do,
happens.
even with VAT, we
I
do
know.
pay a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but hey, it's okay.
So with the M1 version, it maxed out at 16. I think it maxes
Mm.
out at 32 now,
It does, yeah.
which is good because there are some times where I get near 16 gigs of memory and I've got a
Okay.
lot of video projects open, lots of tabs, Slack, all the various things. So
Well,
yeah.
there's your problem. You're running Slack. I mean, Slack by itself.
Electron.
Electron, yeah.
it's quite a heavy app.
Oh, it really, well, anything Electron is incredibly heavy,
It's
unfortunately.
Electron. Boogie woogie RAM gone.
Oh, hey, but speaking of something that is not heavy and is actually incredibly small,
Ooh,
the Mac
that's a
Mini
nice-
has actually just got minier. Is that a word? Minier?
Yeah.
Yeah. you
Yeah,
can do mini.
I'll let you. I'll let you have it.
You'll let me have mini. Okay. So 5-inch by 5-inch. How tall is it? It's 2-inch tall, I think, now. So it's got a little bit taller.
About as
Yeah.
big as an Apple TV, it looks like.
There's a-
The
The photo is it's in someone's hand, like it's
Yes,
just balanced in someone's palm, which is just incredible.
it is tiny. I think
Yeah.
that someone did a size comparison. I'll have to find it, but
I sent it to you actually.
you did, didn't you? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yes. What on?
It's like an iMessage. It's like an overlay of all the different things stacked on top of
Yes,
each other.
that's right. Let me have a look.
Did you notice in the announcement video that the
Mhm.
very first start of it was like a mini model village? So everything, all the drone
Ah.
shots, are all miniaturized,
Oh,
like mini cars, mini people, everything.
Oh yeah.
that's clever. Oh yeah, there you go. Here we go. Can I actually show this on stream? Let me see if I can.
Don't know.
Screen sharing.
Well, no, I don't want to do screen. I like your thinking, Jay, but I don't want to do screen sharing. What I'm going to try and do, I think there's a way for me to show media.
Oh really?
Yeah. Let's see, shall we?
There goes James, always trying to do new things.
New things and new civil. Let's have a look and see whether or not I can do this. There was a way to do this. I know there is. So there was. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Share screen. No. No. Maybe the. Oh yes, there is. Here we go. Media. Oh, so is that upload media? Video files. Play audio and video files. That's not it. Okay. Can I add images? No. Okay, fine.
We'll put
But
it in. You'll
We'll
put
put it in the
the
show
I guess.
notes. Yeah, we'll put it in the show
Yeah.
notes. But what's really incredible, so I'm just going to load this image up so I can actually see it, right?
Well, I mean, if
So-
you want to share a screen, it'll show on streams.
Oh, you know what I can do? Hold on, you have a really good point there, Jay. If I do share screen and do an alpha a month, do a particular window and then share the Mac Mini.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Look at that.
Look at that, and that'll show up on all the streams too, which is
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah, so the streams can see this. So can we? Let's see if we can zoom in. So I should be able to actually. Yeah, you can see my mouse. So if we go to that, let's do this. So
Wow.
yeah. So you can just about see the sizing. Let's get in closer here. I'm just going to have to scroll across a little bit. Hold on.
To scroll with the mouse, hold on Shift.
Oh, really?
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Apple TV is 1.2 inches tall, right? And is 3.1 inch. Sorry, no, that's height, isn't it? That's height. Sorry, that's height. Right, that makes sense. Sorry, my bad. So that's 1.2 inches tall. The new Mac Mini is 2 inches. It is only 5-inch square,
Mhm.
which is really cool. So it's only a little bit bigger. But what's really interesting, right, is how it compares with the old. Look, that's the old Mac Mini.
Wow.
It's so big in comparison.
It really is. But also, it does now. Yeah, it does have a lot more ports. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit and just remind me. Because zoom out. So that's the footprint there. These are the 2 footprints, right? Which is really interesting. Look at this. So now there is one. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There is one thing, right, that is missing from the new the new Mac Mini. There is no USB-A.
Oh.
So it's okay. Is that a big deal? I do not personally think so. Especially not. Hold on. When? Where is it? Right.
This will be a fun edit.
Oh, that's all right. It's fine. It's up. Well, it's also a live stream, so it's fine. So here's the thing, right? These days, I think this was about £20, maybe a little bit more. USB-C,
Oh yes. Yep.
4 USB-A's.
Exactly. And you can daisy chain a lot more of those now
Yeah.
too. So
Well, when I got my iMac, I saw it as an opportunity to replace cables
Yeah.
instead of using adapters.
That makes
So-
sense because actually you can get USB-C to a heck of a lot of the traditional USB.
Yeah. The one that was
So-
really hard to get was for my microphone. So this is like a mini.
Oh, is it
USB.
mini USB?
Yeah, finding mini USB to USB-C was a bit tricky, but
That is a little.
Yeah.
That is
but
hard.
I've used adapters here. I've got a bunch of things snaking on around. Mine's one of the mine's the first M1 Mac Mini.
So to be fair, I think you've got very similar. Now, if I remember correctly, let me just look at that image again because I'm going to make sure I get this right. 1 second. Oh, it doesn't have a back piece.
No.
So that's fine. So on the new Mac Mini, I think how many Thunderbolts? I think is it four Thunderbolts on the back? No, I think it's 2. Hold on, let's go and have a look. I should have checked this before we recorded, shouldn't I? There we go. I was even watching the video earlier, and you know what? I just completely went off the thing.
So on the front, there's one what looks like a 3.5mm jack.
It is.
Yep.
So that's so. And this is the thing. This is the first time any Mac Mini has had front I/O. Any Mac Mini.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So, which is really impressive, right?
So the front ports, I don't know what they are, but they're on the back. There's 3 Thunderbolt ports, but I'm not sure what the two front ones are.
They're just USB-C. It's on, yeah. So it does
Okay.
say it. So they are just USB-C. Whether or not they're 5 or 10 gigabit, I do not know.
No.
But I think they're designed for like hard drives or USB sticks or charging your phone. for
Quick access stuff.
Yeah. On the back, you've got the power. Now, what's really interesting here, of course, is given the size of this unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would not have expected that to still have an internal power supply.
It's impressive. Yeah.
It does. Alex, do you want to know what's even more impressive? That Ethernet port. They've retained the 10 gig option.
Right. So you can, that's what a great little machine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know what that pairs really well with, and I'm sure, in fact, I know that you just had someone chatting about this on your wonderful UI chat podcast. Because of course that 10 gig option will not only do 10 gig, it will do 2.5 gig.
Ah, right. Okay. There we go.
And just
So-
to confirm, the back ports are 3 Thunderbolt capable. And for those who don't know,
Yeah.
Thunderbolt is also USB-C. So
Yes.
so you have both options. The front is just to USB-C.
That's
Mhm.
right. That's correct. But again, that's fine for the purpose. Free
Oh,
Thunderbolt
and
now.
they've moved the power button to the front.
Yeah, that's caused some controversy as well
Oh yeah, server
because
farms.
it's underneath.
Oh, then what's that thing on the front then? Is that because there's a light and then there's the
You mean that circle?
yeah.
That's a headphone jack, Jay.
Oh, that's well, I don't know what those are anymore.
Well, Alex does. Alex is wearing wired headphones. I wear. hang on,
I am too,
uh,
but I'm to
I was-
I'm to a USB interface.
That is true, but if you're not, though, and do you know what? Apple's audio outputs on their devices do tend to be really quite good.
Oh yeah, I've actually sometimes used the speaker on this Mac before. It's
No, I
pretty-
don't even mean the speakers, Jay. I mean the headphone outputs.
Oh, no,
tend
absolutely.
to be good
Yeah.
quality.
really good quality.
But the button underneath, meh, because A, you can shut it down from the menu. B, these Mac Minis, they do. I don't know the last time, apart from when I really felt that okay, I think, and I maybe should have done it today, when Agile Octopus's prices went into the 60 pence per kilowatt hour. But then I realized, well, even then, it's actually not that bad because it's for a whole kilowatt of usage for a whole hour. It's not.
Yeah, they're very, very efficient. Even if you compare it to the ones from 2010, the amount of power these things use now is so little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that, of course, this redesign changes is that none of the existing Mac Mini under desk or Visa mount things for the Mac Mini will work
Yeah.
anymore. So hopefully we'll see some new ones. But I mean, that footprint is just tiny.
Well, and that it drives it up to 3 displays is pretty impressive too.
Yes. Well, that's because of the M4, right? So
Yeah.
just like they did with the M2, we've also done an M2 Pro version of this.
Wait, you mean M4
Huh.
Pro?
That's what I meant, M4 Pro. Thank you very much. So there is an M4 Pro. So if we
Actually-
yeah,
Dear, I'm going to say, can you re-say that? Just like they did with the M2, there's just that way to be easier for your editing.
oh, thank you. Someone's taking my quality production thing of seriously, right? Okay. So just like they did with the M2, where that had an M2 Pro, which is in fact the machine I'm using right now. I have an M2 Pro Mac Mini. They've also done an M4 Pro Mac Mini. Now that gives you obviously the higher CPU, the higher GPU, but more. What's interesting is, and this is the first time I mentioned it because it wasn't on the iMac, we're now at Thunderbolt 5.
Oh.
At first on their site, it said "looks small." I thought it said "looks small, saves lives." I'm like, no, lives large.
Clever. So yes, if I go into the Comfort, so you can pre-order because these are coming out this week. So this all happened last week, right? And they're going to launch on Friday, I believe, of this week. So we're recording on Monday. These actually go out on Friday. So the M4 Pro, you get Thunderbolt 5. Now Thunderbolt 5, by default, it's 80 gigabits a second transfer speed, right? But I believe it can do something where it does something where for a short period or for one device, it can do 120 gigabit a second transfer speeds.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Now, when you're talking that sort of transfer speeds and you get the right combination of SSD and enclosure, that's some seriously rapid external storage you've got going on. Couple that with a nice 10 gig interface into your UNAS Pro from Ubiquiti, which, of course, along with the Flex Mini 2.5 gigabit, you can hear all about on UI Chat.
I promise you, I haven't paid him.
No. You did give me really nice, really. We had a really good journey in a vehicle that I'm not actually allowed to talk about on this particular podcast.
Yeah.
It wasn't you know what? Screw it. It was the Genesis G80. No, it wasn't G70. Sorry.
Was it G80?
Was it G80?
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. Beautiful car. But that's all I'm gonna say. So I'm not meant to say more. Hopefully, that's not going to be the case much longer. We'll see. Anyway, so base model, right? Base model Mac Mini, US pricing. Alex, could you pull the UK? Because I think it's going to be the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always going to be. It's $599, which is actually really reasonable.
At that spec, so look, this has got
Yeah.
a 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, 16 gig of unified memory, and 256 gig SSD, which is really cool. Now, they also mentioned something. These are their first carbon neutral Macs.
Which is really good.
Now, you step that up, of course, then to, I'm going to step up to the M4 Pro. So you obviously step up a little bit as you get more storage. For $800, so £800, you get 512 gig of storage. So it's a $200 bump for the storage, right? $1,000 or pounds, you get 24 gig. But then when you step up to the M4 Pro, right?
Mhm.
The M4 Pro is a 12-core CPU, 16-core GPU, starts at 24 gig of memory,
Mhm.
and has 512 gig. Now, you can configure the M4 Pro, right? This is where it gets interesting for me, because we start to become little powerhouses.
Mhm.
You can configure it up to a 14-core CPU, 20-core GPU, and up to, bear in mind the size of this machine, yeah? 64 gig of memory.
That's impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
And then it was again up to 8 terabytes of SSD storage if you want it, but that will cost you $2,400 more to put
If
in.
you need it, it's there. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I will say, it's amazing to see the Mac Mini go from being that device that they're like, a lot of people were like, years ago that like it's missing so much to now. In my opinion, it is one of the powerhouses, and in some ways, I would almost take the savings of a Mac Mini over an iMac. I mean, as much as I like the iMacs, the Mac Mini can fit because I've got mine here, and then it fits into it. And at one of our client sites, we have a few Mac Minis, and we've used them over the years. Again, powerhouses that are, and when they get to end of life, Pop OS. I'm being very serious.
Oh, good point. Well, more so on the Intel Macs, Jay. I'm not sure how far we are. I don't think we're close to having ARM support on Pop OS yet, particularly not on Apple Silicon. But yeah, old Intel Macs will run, particularly Pop OS really, really well. Yeah.
No, as of December 1st or 2023, Pop OS is now an ARM and Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean Apple Silicon, dear.
Oh, true.
Because of the way Apple Silicon. But yes, that's really cool. But so that means, for example, the because I think who is it who partnered with? Oh, is it System 76 are doing a Ampere based workstation. Ampere is in fact, Ampere is what powers quite a few of the Crosswire servers. It's an ARM based workstation server chip. Very cool. So you get the power of ARM, but on a server, which obviously you get with Mac Pro. But these Mac Minis, they are remote machines. I think, Alex, didn't you say when you've needed to do some video migration, you've just spun up a Mac Mini with Mac Stadium?
Yeah, that was really cool. Just because my internet isn't fast enough to download like hundreds of gigabytes of footage. Just to literally just download from Google Drive and push across to YouTube. It was perfect. I did notice though after a while that I do wonder if I was upload stuff to YouTube, it was topping out about 50 megs.
Oh,
After a little while, I wondered if YouTube had sort of caught wind of like spam protection because the first few it did it full speed, and then
Mm,
the last few it took hours.
maybe, or maybe that was a thing from. Oh, well done. Thank you, Jay, for popping that. Oh, that's interesting. Hang on. Did you post, Jay? Did you
I
post?
posted it in
Yeah,
both
you
in
posted
both
it in
chats.
both. Yeah, no. Post it in the Riverside chat, sweetheart. Because then it will go to both chats. I think.
Nope.
Am I- No? Okay, fine. It doesn't. Okay. My bad. All right. Anyway. So that, yeah, it could be an anti-spam thing. It could, because obviously Google might recognize the Mac Stadium block of IPs. Yeah,
That's what
fair
I was
point.
thinking. Yeah, but oh well.
But oh well. I think these are wonderful machines. At
Yep.
those price points, they made a good point. You know, like enterprises. I mean, look, education.
Yeah.
I think, in fact, I think I might be wrong. They do an education discount,
They do. Yeah,
which brings the Mac Mini base Mac Mini down to just $500.
yeah, it's very good, isn't it? Yeah,
But Alex made a really good point earlier that yes, it's a great price. As in, well, so to answer Jay's question, if you were to take the Mac Mini over an iMac, could you actually get as good a display for a price difference?
I really don't know.
But even if you weren't doing it as good of a display, you're at least doing because like the part of it is I wouldn't want to pay for. I don't need the biggest display. I just need and like my monitors I have are good.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, actually, fair point. Because if you've already got, say, for example, you are switching from a Windows PC,
Yeah.
then actually you've already got monitors, right?
Yeah.
You've already got the stuff you need. That is because that was the original tagline, wasn't it, of the iMac? Bring your own keyboard, display, and mouse.
The Mac Mini. Yeah, yeah.
The
it
Mac
was,
Mini. Yeah. Did I say the iMac? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. No. Yeah. The original Mac Mini was literally targeted at Windows switches.
Yeah, because you just literally just unplug your tower and
Mhm.
plug this in, and job done. So
It did make me smile when in the video they compared it to the best-selling PC in the price point, and like that thing is huge.
yeah.
But what's also interesting is it feels more like a literal mini version of a Mac Studio now.
Well, it's like one of those NUC PCs, and those
Yes.
are traditionally really not very good specs.
No.
And if you do want good specs, you've got to pay a lot. But
Yeah.
they'll never be what this is.
No.
So
No.
Mm.
And then on top of that, you've got obviously Mac OS itself.
Mhm.
But yeah, and we're going to come back to that because obviously there's something they've been talking about quite a bit with there's been the headline. There's been like it almost feels like a copy paste segment between all three announcements with the same presenter. I've got to think, by the way, they filmed that all in one shot because all in one day. We'll come back to the filming of it because it again looked beautiful. They then updated the MacBook Pros. Now, I mean, effectively, it's just exactly what we've done with the iMac. They've shoved the new chips into the MacBook Pros. Except, did anyone catch something they mentioned on the M4 MacBook Pro? No?
I didn't see that. No.
They've added so on the original base model M3 MacBook Pro 14-inch,
Mhm.
it wasn't available in the space black.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did
But-
notice that.
But also, they've added a Thunderbolt 4 port to the right-hand side to match the other machine. So you now get 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the
That's
base
good.
M4.
Because the base model was a little bit just a little bit of a compromise.
I
Obviously, it
missed
obviously
that
isn't
because even on the news, I missed the MacBook Pro. I'm so sorry. I guess I overbooked that.
now. Ugh.
That's terrible. But yeah, the base model MacBook Pro, I think, is for people who wanted the bigger screen, wanted the better I/O, and maybe didn't want to worry about the MacBook thermal throttling, which I think is reasonable.
Yeah.
then of course we get now again that starts at 16 gig, and then we get the new M4 Pro and M4 Max models. I mean, really, these chips are insane. Let me just pull up Apple's site on this, because when I was watching this again today, and like, in a laptop, are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know for YouTube, but do you remember when laptops used to be like just any laptop, not just Apple's laptops, but any laptop just used to be woefully inadequate compared with a desktop?
Yeah, well, and like the 14 and 16-inch sizes start at 2000 or 1999 and 24.99, and if you add, and as they said, if you max out the latter one and add nanotexture, it'll cost up to $4,249.
Okay.
Whew.
But the M4, the base M4, by the way, starts at was it $15.99? So that's not the Pro version. That's not the Pro or Max. But let's take, because for me, I think 14-inch. I'm trying to. I mean, I like the size of a 16-inch, but also it's harder to carry. So the M4 Pro 14-inch, right, is a 12-core CPU. Now, what's really interesting there is what was it? I think, because how many efficiency? Hold on. The tech specs do say how many efficiency cores, but the M4 Pro and Max have more performance cores than efficiency cores, whereas the M4 is 6 efficiency cores, 4 performance cores, if I remember correctly. I think that's right. Can someone double check that? But anyway, the top end config on an M4 Max, right? I'm going to go all the way to the top end, because as Jay just slyly dropped in there, you can get I don't think you could get nanotexture on the previous gen, could you?
No, this is new as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It's really good.
So go on, Jay.
A maxed out 16-inch Max, $7,349.
Okay, but let's talk tech specs for a while, because so the nanotexture is only £150 more. It's actually not that bad. But okay, on the base level, when you upgrade to an M4 Max, that also takes you up to 48 gig. So when you upgrade to the 16-core CPU, 40-core GPU on an M4 Max, you go up to 48 gig. These machines can now take 128 gig of unified memory.
Wow.
And again, 8 terabytes.
On a laptop, that's just insane, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
You're carrying that around with you.
And on the Max, you can go between 1 terabyte to 8 terabytes of storage.
I think that's actually the case. I'm going to double check on my iMac, but I think actually that's now Apple's sort of stock SSD configuration now, Jay. I think that's the range is like 256 all the way up to 8 terabytes. But I'm just going to double check that I'm not wrong on that, because I don't want to make a fool of myself, because I make a fool of myself on a lot of other stuff.
No comment.
Oh, no. Okay. I will. I stand corrected. The iMac can only go up to 2 terabytes of storage, which is interesting.
On the base model.
I'm just double checking,
because the better models, they can go up to 8.
Oh, you are right. Yeah, the 10 cut. Yeah, no. Thank you. You are quite right. The high end, the one with the 24. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, you are. No. I'm looking at the UK store. The iMacs, I'm on the M4, 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, which seems to be the only option.
Yep.
That can only go up to 2 terabytes.
How weird. I thought...
Yeah.
That's... I swear when I ordered mine, I could have gone to 8.
And on Mac Minis, you can only go up to 2 on, except if you do the Max. Max can go up to...
Do you mean the Pro on the Mac Mini?
Oh yeah, Pro. Sorry, not Max.
So it must be a configuration option on the M4 then. So let's just hold on. Now I'm curious on the base model MacBook Pro, right? Because I wonder if it's a feature of the chip rather. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just gonna have a look and just see now. Let's see. So live stuff here, folks. We're looking at this live. So a base model. Yeah. The M4. So it's not a feature of a product. It is the chip. The M4 can only go up to 2 terabytes of SSD, regardless of the Apple product it is inside of.
How
Just-
weird. Because unless I'm remembering wrong, I swear the iMac M1 could do 8 terabytes, but I'm probably wrong. No, 2 terabytes was the max. Okay, never mind.
Okay. So it's a limitation then of, and I think it's an artificial limitation that Apple put in place, but the limitation of the MX, so whatever, is 2 terabytes.
That's
I
true.
mean, that makes sense, to be fair. And 2 terabytes of SSD is still plenty. But when you're going for a Pro or Max, but these are beefy laptops, right?
And they're going to last you a long time. Again, we have clients who still have iMacs. I mean, my M1 Mac Mini, I got that in 2021, and it's still chugging along.
Well, but it's really interesting. We do still have one of our clients. I mean, to be fair, we only got one client who's actually got Macs. They are still on, at least for one of the machine. No, 2 machines, 2 production machines. They are on Intel Macs. I cannot wait to move them over fully to M series chips.
Yeah,
because which is it? It's for Pro and the Max, isn't it? But now are claiming 24-hour battery life.
Yes,
which is quite incredible. I mean, your MacBook Air, doesn't that last you days?
Ridiculous.
Mine as well. Yeah, like my old Intel MacBook, I'd be so worried about it running out of battery. But my M2 is it just lasts for ages. I can go to a coffee shop with it, and it just lasts so long. I don't have to worry.
Yeah, I've used it on train. I think it's because you've got the M2, whereas I've got the M3. So it's just a slight improvement, I think, on battery life. But they are, these MacBook Pros, they've got good connectivity. Thunderbolt 5 again on the Pro and Max, which is really good. Yes, Jay, that is absolutely fine. Thank you for mention it. That is fine. I'll edit my bit up. But so 3 wonderful products. Now, there is one thing they also did. I think we mentioned it at the start of the thing. They didn't do anything to the MacBook Air bar bump the RAM up to 16 gig on the base models, which makes, I mean, I'm just going to say this right now. That M2 MacBook Air is possibly one of the best laptop buys at the moment for a good, thin and light, decent connectivity. Because it's got 2 Thunderbolt 4s,
Wi-Fi 6.
Wi-Fi 6. Good point. Yeah. Are these? Are we on Wi-Fi 7 on any of these new MacBook Pros?
No, there was a Mac Rumors article that came out last week that said these haven't moved to Wi-Fi 7 yet. I believe they have Wi-Fi 6E.
6E. And
so yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question? Because I think we've mentioned this before, but I want to just clarify this because I don't know if you watch probably as much YouTube as I do. EE, who are an ISP here, are now advertising their Wi-Fi 7 router. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. They're saying every device will benefit from Wi-Fi 7, but that's not true, is it? I mean, like, your device has to support Wi-Fi 7, but also, is it fair to say for most consumers, Wi-Fi 7 is not? I don't know. I'd love your take on that.
We had this Wi-Fi 6. I don't know if you remember. There was a absolute ton of hype around it. It's going to solve every problem known to man. The same with 5G as well.
Yeah.
But it's only what your device is capable of, and also what you're doing.
Right.
Wi-Fi 6. I don't know much about Wi-Fi 7 just yet because it's still not really. Well, it is official, but not really. But the Wi-Fi 6 was its main benefit is the amount of devices it can handle.
Right.
And unless you've got a home with every single thing is on the Wi-Fi, is not going to make a massive difference. It's more for enterprise stuff.
Right.
Wi-Fi 7 has MLO, which is you can do upload on 5 gigahertz and download on 6 gigahertz depending on the noise. But we're getting to some really sort of in the weed stuff here with this stuff now. It's not going to make a huge difference. I think what EE are doing is just marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, basically. Yeah.
because most consumers, let me redo that one, because a lot of consumers have inadequate Wi-Fi routers and setups. That's where a lot of your Wi-Fi issues come from.
You
Yep.
make a good point. You make a very good point. Because actually, so even for me, even though on a wonderful router, which I think is great for a lot of people, and Alex very kindly hooked us up with this for a very, very fair price. So thank you, Alex. The Unified Dream router, right? It caps at 700 megabits.
Yeah, and
Now, I've got gigabit fiber, so actually, I've just upgraded, waiting for it to arrive, to the Unified Cloud Gateway Ultra. I've had to
And-
do a few other changes. Go on, Jay.
and we're running a Unified Dream Machine here because we wanted to, because my parents have a big house and we wanted to get them a good system that also had protect, and it's impressive what that can do. I mean, again, it's
Well, can I say something? I
Huh?
think if the Unified Cloud Gateway Max had come out at the time we were buying your, so
Yeah.
this is not UI chat. This is just
No.
random. But the point I'm making is, like, it doesn't necessarily matter that these are not Wi-Fi 7. okay?
exactly, because again, Wi-Fi 7. I mean, no. The reason why Eero is doing it because marketing. They want to show, and it's like, no, you're
Well-
probably running off of an ISP router, and that's what's causing most of your issues.
There might also be another reason why. Matt Krim has also reported at the same time that Apple are working on their own Wi-Fi 7 chips.
Oh.
So they might be waiting for that because historically they've used Intel modems for 5G, but also I don't know what Qualcomm maybe. I don't know who makes Wi-Fi chips, but the fact they're doing their own work makes me think that they're going to have something cool coming. But yeah,
Yes, because I know they're already working on that. What if? Okay, this is going to be Apple rumor theory time.
Go on.
What
Go
if
on.
they're coming out with a dual cellular and Wi-Fi chip that can reduce the use of your the battery use by combining them in the same thing? How cool would that be? That you could either do cellular or Wi-Fi.
I've just had a thought on that, you know.
hmm
Because we know how, okay, if they do that and they have a cellular chip and a Wi-Fi chip combined, what's to stop them putting that into Max?
I know.
Could we see the first combined Wi-Fi plus cellular?
Honestly, we could,
MacBooks.
and it would be a huge selling. And then add it into Apple Satellite.
What? Okay.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry. I'm
The-
sorry.
the-
Why
no.
would you need Apple Satellite on
What
a
if your
MacBook?
internet goes down and you need to contact somebody? With the way that they already do the iPhone satellite emergency satellite.
Yeah, but I mean,
that is already a thing. I think with T-Mobile and SpaceX, I believe.
oh really? Okay.
I think
So see,
Starlink. Yeah.
So it's again we're in the rumor territory. I'm just going all out.
You really are. However, I was actually with Alex yesterday. We went to go and see some cars, just old cars. It was great fun. But the cell signal there on
Oh.
EE was just
It was
dire.
rubbish.
Yeah, dire.
It was worse than E, right?
Yeah, but
It's nothing.
there was
Right.
nothing. Well, you had signal because of that fancy SIM thing you've got, which
Yes, it's really
Mikey-
cool. But yeah,
Actually, yeah. So quickly, I got to test the demo of the satellite connectivity.
Yeah.
But Alex, what's it called, Alex?
so this is not a promo. I have
No.
actually I have asked the co-founders to be on the podcast, but they weren't interested.
Oh, it's Oh.
But anyway, it's a what's a really, so it's £5 a month at the moment in the UK, and what that gets you is roaming between it was all four networks: so Vodafone, O2, EE, and 3.
Kind of like Google Project Fi in a way,
Oh, really?
because Project Fi goes between different networks.
Oh,
Oh,
Did
I
not
didn't
know
know.
that.
That's cool. But what this is so it's they've ditched Vodafone for now, but they will come back to it because they're having technical issues. But
Right.
it gives you unlimited data in the entire world. I think bar a few countries.
Yeah.
One or two countries, but with access to essential apps they class it as. So Google Maps, Apple Maps, iMessage,
Signal.
all the EV charging apps, WhatsApp as well, and I want to say some banking apps as well, like Monzo and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
Wise. So,
Mhm.
and I said to you, like, if you're traveling in Europe, sort of sat doom scrolling using
No.
the internet. You're sort of getting to where you're going, and you can use the proper internet when you get to the hotel. So, and for
Good
£5 a month for unlimited data on those essential apps, that's really cool. And it works with CarPlay because I used it once when I had no signal to get directions with CarPlay. So yeah, so there you go.
I guess that makes sense because it's going through your phone, and
Yeah.
your phone's just choosing to route the data down that SIM rather than your primary
Yeah.
SIM. So it's
Yeah.
definitely not meant for. It's not a day-to-day SIM. Obviously, Jay has.
You can't get phone calls on it.
No, because it gives you a US number, doesn't it?
It gives you a US +1 phone number, yeah. And I rang
Okay.
it and it doesn't work. But
Oh, fair enough. But obviously, it means that you've got. Excuse me, our voice is really good. You've got essential connectivity. But the point I was making is, I had to obviously aim the phone at the
sky.
satellite.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this, Jay. Aiming a laptop at the sky does not seem feasible.
No, I wasn't even thinking. I'm going to aim the iMac because I used to carry my iMac.
Were
to
you
work
one of those
with me.
people who had
Oh,
an
no.
iMac carry pouch?
I
You were,
did
weren't you?
actually. I
Oh.
did.
You were that person in Starbucks.
I
with the
was
iMac.
actually.
Oh, dear me.
Well, that's definitely a clip from a podcast. Although, to be fair, with the new, you know what I just realised, right? Genuinely, okay. If you can't afford a laptop, base model Mac Mini, right? Power adapter and a USB-C powered external display.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool.
But okay, I mean, so
Now-
Jay and I say, go on, Jay.
Question on that.
Yeah.
If you did that, are you using intelligence, or do you need to ask Apple for some intelligence?
Do you know what? So Jay's going to talk about something at the end of the show, because we need to promote something. But I was hoping that a time away might have like calmed the puns.
Well, I mean, I was bipolar. I wasn't bipunular.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I've got
What
one more
Jay's-
thing about
Yeah,
one
go
more
on.
thing about the Wi-Fi chips before we
Yeah,
go. So
sure.
it says iPhone 16 models use Broadcom Wi-Fi chips, but these new Apple design chips will actually be manufactured by TSMC using
Okay.
a 7-nanometer process, which is insane.
Wow.
And Apple is also launching their own 5G chip next year, apparently, as well. There has also been conflicting rumors about whether these will be separate chips or one combined chip for 5G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. But yeah,
Interesting.
I've got to imagine that their sort of silicon chops will be really good for Wi-Fi chips. You'll probably see some massive improvements because them relying on third parties is not historically bowed out very well. So
Well, Broadcom are not exactly known for their
innovation.
Is it Mr. Company that's killed off VMware? Fusion. So I think they've done some really dodgy stuff recently. Well, Broadcom took over Symantec. Oh, it's a mess.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, they did. I remember licensing got really silly for Symantec. Symantec antivirus, which I mean, we use Sentinel-1 because we get it. But Bitdefender on Malwarebytes. Anyway, so what Jay was trying to say with her wonderful punning was Apple Intelligence, because that's been the running theme throughout all three announcements, is these are built for Apple Intelligence. Now, out of the three of us, I think Jay's the only one who's actually been able to really try it, unless you've tried it by switching your language, Alex, but I haven't.
I didn't really fancy doing that. Just because it might break certain family sharing stuff. We've got a very complicated family sharing setup here. So and I've already had enough problems with the HomePods not recognizing who I am over the past few months. So and vice versa. So I didn't really particularly want to mess with it. But yeah, how have you found it, Jay?
I've only done it on my Mac, and so far I found it really good. I did some of the photos. I tried some of the photos out. I did try some of the proofreading, and it seems to be nice. I also like some of the priority, and I'm still trying to figure out how do you tell it like what's not priority. I'm still learning like in mail how that. But it was interesting. One notification, it was like James said this, and it was
the summary. The summary.
Yes. Summaries, yeah. It has a lot of teething room. I want to try Image Playground and Genmoji when it comes out. Unfortunately, because my only M device right now is my Mac, my iPhone and iPad don't have it. But I like it. The only thing I hate is I'm back on U.S. language and not UK language.
Well, okay. So
Ah.
why are you using UK English?
Because it's the proper way, and so I can
It's
compare
better.
myself.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, but she's American.
Well,
know.
but I'm going to be marrying somebody from the UK, so
But okay, Jay, as you well know, until we get quite a lot bit more money, that does not make you a British citizen.
I know. But I can act like I'm from Bridgerton, you know.
Bridgerton.
Okay, you know what? With me, you're gonna be more from, and this is a reference that not many people will get. You're gonna be more from Last of a Summer Wine if I get older, you lad. Lass. Sorry, that was not a gender. That was let me start that again so I can leave that out. Actually, well, never mind Bridgerton, lass. If I get older, you're gonna be speaking Yorkshire or Lancastrian. Just depends where I feeling a bit more. Because I'm a Lancastrian originally, so I'm a
Oh.
Northerner. Yeah.
Can I look up my song real quick?
You what?
There's a song I wanted to repeat.
Is it suitable for a podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But you know, laddie, I'll be on Ilkla Moor.
No, stop right there, because I know what you're about to try and do, and you're going to butcher a beloved Yorkshire song. No, stop it. Stop it right now. Okay. Before I send, and again, this is a reference that maybe some of our older viewers will find, before I send Nora Batty round.
I used to enjoy that show. It was really good.
Yeah. Well, my dad was up that way today, you know, actually picking up a table and chairs. Like, no, I loved that show. I'm glad you recognise that, Rigo. It's one I'm going to have to show Jay at some point. Anyway, but so the things that really excite me about Apple Intelligence, Image Playground. Do you know I could actually see having some fun with some stuff from our streams with that. Genmoji, yeah, maybe. But again, some of the proofreading stuff, some of the actually be able to get queries and act on stuff, I think that's good. But I do think for me, the big thing that really, really impresses me with AI, Apple Intelligence, is that it's all on device. I mean, if it needs to go further, if it's going to chat GPT, it's going to ask you. But if it needs to go further into the cloud compute, it's what we call it private cloud compute.
Yeah.
The idea is that is just your data, and we've got it independently verified. Because Apple did this whole thing recently. We said basically LLMs suck. I mean, that was basically the headline. We're like, yeah, LLMs really don't understand things.
And I mean, you and I still have we are trying to decide like we do use AI in certain parts of our business, but we're very careful because we try to be careful where it's used and what it's using, because AI itself is, as we said, is not bad. It's where they get the data from. It's how it's used. That there's a lot of questions, and I recommend our episodes with Professor Catherine Flick on that. And yeah, like I said, I'm very impressed with it. It wasn't some of the Apple Intelligence on the photos made it look like. Do you remember the old thing that used to happen on Instagram where like somebody was trying to remove excess weight on themselves, and you saw that the walkway that they're on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
A few of the things.
Photoshop jobs.
Yeah, a few that look that way, but some of them are actually really amazing. Like I made one of you and me look like there was nobody else around. It was actually kind of cool.
I did a little bit of that, and I think it very much depends of what's left in the image. If it's a busy image, you're going to struggle. But yeah, it is, because the photo stuff we can do now. Alex, that's available to us on Photos already. The cleanup stuff is anyway.
I didn't realize that. Oh, actually, phone recording is available as well. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
In the top left-hand corner, there's a little wavy thing, and I got left a voicemail from a sales company today, and it actually read it out in real time. Or like I got a read out, not in real time, but like a notification afterwards, but it was in text. I don't know if that's new. But
and what's cool
voicemail transcription. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
And what's cool is when you do the note recording, it saves it into notes with the transcript. Again, there's a lot of things Apple's trying to do. They're trying to really not go too far down into the territory that's concerning with AI.
Yeah.
I want to see real world cases of
Mhm.
like where it can fix stuff, because there's still a lot of things I'm hearing from here and there, but I'm intrigued. I don't know how much I'm gonna want it to do a lot of stuff for me, but I'm very intrigued by it.
I think it's going to have some benefits. Interestingly, on the call recording thing, because yes, I did see that, Alan, and we've tried it out. It does a good job of transcript, but it does also play into the call. This call is being recorded. This call is no longer being recorded
Okay.
because
That's cool.
of consent. Now, the general consensus is where you need two-party consent, implied consent because you've been advised is enough. So, like, for example, because you've chosen to continue. So, like, for example, when you go through to a call center,
Yep.
calls may be recorded for quality or training purposes. That you, by choosing to continue with that call, you're consenting. And I think that's what Apple have gone for, to try and make it simple. I don't know what because I don't know what Unified Talk is, to bring it back. Unified Talk now has had call recording for quite a while, but that's got AI transcription now, I think.
It has, and I am working on a video about Unified Talk for a UK specific setup, so I will find
Okay.
out. But I don't really know. I'd imagine they will have it because of, I think California is quite a privacy state. I'm not really sure,
They
but
are,
they've got some
yeah.
they've got some rules in there that I'd imagine they probably had to do it. So
Well, they
yeah.
give you a legal, but I was watching one of Cody's videos when it came out, they give you a legal blurb, but you can also put in a message that says call. You could, because what Unified Talk's really flexible for how the
Yes.
phone stuff works. So very cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, so Apple Intelligence, me and Alex, I think we are going to end up probably doing some videos on, at least I am, on Apple Intelligence in the UK when it hits in December.
Nice.
I don't know exactly when it hits, but it might hit when Jay's here, because Jay's here in December, which would be really cool.
I think it's early December because I think iOS 18.3
3?
2, so 2,
2.
sorry. It's coming out in the first week of December, I
Oh,
believe.
perfect. Then, in fact, it will be literally the week that Jay arrives, so we can actually play with it a little bit and try. So that's really cool.
And
Now, there is... So go on.
And I will say that the biggest thing that I want to see, well, how much of this is woo woo, and like what, and one interesting thing that I noticed, my iPhone shows the reduced interruptions focus. I don't know if that's just a thing they're adding, or if that's just because it's focus modes are synced.
Well, I'd imagine that's maybe not as much Apple Intelligence. That's maybe, but that's good. I need to check them out.
It
and see
only
if
showed up because my iPhone is not one of the ones that's going to be
No.
on the Apple Intelligence, but I've tried it, and so far I haven't noticed anything different.
Right.
From Do Not
So
Disturb.
it could just be that it's synced, but that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
But there is another thing that sort of happened, which wasn't really a product announcement per se, although I think it could lead to one, or very much Apple promoting something. Apple have acquired Pixelmator.
Oh yes.
Now that's 3 apps that they've acquired there: Pixelmator, Pixelmator Pro, and Photomator. Now, why have they done that? Why? Okay, so I mean, let's start. Alex, I know you use Pixelmator Pro.
I own the app. I haven't used it that often.
Okay. Oh, I know why you bought it, because I think you bought it for the same reason that I did.
Yeah.
Right? To take image files into Apple Motion, which Pixelmator Pro can do.
Yep.
So what I love about Pixelmator Pro in particular is it's got a lot of machine learning stuff. I resampled a lot of old photos of my grandparents using their ML Super Resolution.
Right, and it actually increases the resolution, does it? Huh.
Yeah, it's really quite nice. I realized I have to actually say the words. Yeah, I was nodding. Hang on a second, this is an audio show as well. But yes, it does, and it clarified things. It made them usable for print.
Huh, that's pretty good. And I'd imagine they seem like one of those app developers which takes Apple's sort of documentation quite seriously.
Yes.
And doesn't sort of ignore it a little bit. And I like developers who do that. And it seems like they've harnessed a lot of the features that Apple have added to the OSs. So that's good.
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right, and I hope they continue it. I think was it yesterday we were talking about? Oh, could this be the new? Could they remake it into Aperture? I'm like, well, no, because Aperture was very much a Lightroom competitor.
Yeah, so I never used it. I just heard
no.
good things about it.
Well, I miss it because the reason, because like it was far more powerful than Photos is. Because Lightroom is very much all about your photo management and like editing, not the. Because Photoshop has become much more about creating new stuff rather than necessarily touching a picture. Go on.
So Pixelmator 3.4, which came out almost on the 15th, has photo calling with CULLING with flags, star ratings, and advanced filtering. So they have a way to manage your photos. So it's starting to look like some types of the Lightroom and Aperture features, not to the same extent, but I could see that being a big thing. I just hope it does not go dark sky, because while I like while I love the Apple acquired dark sky for Apple Weather, it has not been the same as dark sky, and we actually use Mercury to try.
Well, you do. I just use Apple Weather,
but like I hope we don't lose Pixelmator, because it is part of our workflow. Like I know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the space because TikTok owns CapCut. We use Mojo. No. I mean, we also use Mojo.
Yeah.
And we also Canva owns Affinity. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the shakeup to try to dethrone Adobe.
That's a good point. That's a very good point, actually, because Adobe, pushing Adobe Express right now. I'm sorry, I am just not an Adobe. I mean, look, Alex, you're a Final Cut user. We are. I
used to be an Adobe user, but the prices just kept going up and up and up. And like, for the fact that for what you get with Final Cut, I did a Final Cut video recently, and it was so much better doing it in Final Cut versus doing it in Premiere. And I hate that, because I used to be a huge Premiere Pro advocate.
I mean, look, my first video editing, my first video editing package was Pinnacle Studio.
Me too.
There you go. Then I moved to Premiere Elements. And then I moved to the Mac and moved to Final Cut Express when that was still a thing.
Well, wait, I just realized, does Windows Movie Maker count, or no? I think Pinnacle Studio.
I think no one. I don't know. Well, I found out, Techmoan, the YouTuber, he still uses iMovie.
I mean, it's really good, and honestly, sometimes the workflow of Final Cut can just be too much for what you need. I mean, there's a reason why sometimes I like purpose-built apps for a workflow.
Well, what's really interesting, they did mention, wasn't it, in one of the videos about how Apple Intelligence is going to improve captioning in Final Cut. Apparently, they're going to be doing actual captioning inside the Final Cut now.
I'm looking forward to that, because I keep having to use like a third-party plugin with Final Cut, and it's such a faff. So, having something native for YouTube Shorts be good.
I just did a bunch of captions in Final Cut.
No, but you typed those manually.
Oh, have something else. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, because I just did a bunch of it for a Turks video.
And that's very specific captioning that you did inside the Final Cut there. That is the baked in like subtitle generators. This is like the sort of stuff that you see in TikTok videos.
Oh yes, I would love that. So because that would make it so much easier, because Mojo has that and it's so much nicer.
Well, Mojo will still serve a purpose, right? Because it's got a lot of stuff that we really like.
And it's purpose built for vertical video.
Well, it looks like Final Cut's getting better vertical video support as well. It seems like they that's at least from that brief segment we talked about, right? But okay, I want to wrap up on one little thing, because very excited about that. There's something that struck me from the videos today. I think it was on the iMac. We were talking about Sequoia and the apps that are included, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is still very much the case on the Mac over, say, Windows. look, if people like Windows, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think for maybe people who aren't as technical skilled, because one thing that really scares me right now is recall. Microsoft Recall is really scaring me at the moment.
What's that?
But it's where it basically will record everything that you do on your machine.
Oh,
Now, I'm going to play the devil's advocate. How is that
Mhm.
different than Apple Intelligence?
Well, Apple Intelligence doesn't record everything that you do, doesn't like take screenshots of everything you're doing, Jay.
Fair, very fair. It
But-
uses
So-
data that it has access to, but it's only private data. Yeah.
there's an interesting interview. I watched part of it because it was behind a paywall, most of it else.
Oh.
But it was Joanna Stern interviewed Craig
yeah.
Federighi again about Apple Intelligence over the
Okay.
week. So there's like a 10-minute clip that she published on YouTube, but
Oh,
I thought that was really interesting. So I'll send you the link for that to put in the show notes. But
that's good. Is his hair now AI generated as well?
his hair's so perfect. I
That's
don't
just
understand
like-
it.
I still
We're actually
love-
going to find out that Craig Federighi's have been Apple Intelligence the entire time, and he's and now
I really
Siri's
don't
going to have like
understand.
the hair now on the icon.
I still remember his first proper appearance. It was at a State of the Union platform, State of the Union, and he started saying, "Oh, there's over 3,000 new APIs in this version of macOS. Let's start with A." And he actually almost goes into it, goes right, the Accelerate framework, and everyone's just laughing because he obviously was taking himself not very seriously.
That
Sorry.
wasn't his. I think his very first.
Oh.
Appearance was actually during the Snow Leopard. It was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
it was when there was a. I think he was German. I'm not entirely sure where he was
Oh,
from. But
Bertrand Soleil.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So he introduced Craig Federighi as someone below him, which was
Oh,
incredible. And he was so nervous, like really
I
awkward.
remember.
And now he's like a
He's a
professional
beast.
actor. Like
Well, him and Jaws. There's a reason Gruber keeps having him and Jaws back.
I know,
I love that so much when those two get together. It's
they're
just,
so funny.
I've had the privilege of meeting John Gruber, and he is. Do you know he's actually quite shy in person? He's-
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. No, John's a really nice guy. No, there's someone else. There's a Mac podcast who's actually really quite shy in real life. But no, John's just brilliant. Really nice guy.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyway, so one thing, the reason I was circling about this is with your iMac that you've just bought, or your Mac Mini, out of the box, you're getting Pages, Keynote, Numbers, iMovie, GarageBand, Photos, and
Mhm.
for me, and and a really good mail client as
Did
well.
you say Keynote as well?
I did. I think I did say Keynote.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. But if I didn't, and for
And GarageBand?
yeah, and GarageBand, yeah,
Yeah.
GarageBand, GarageBand.
GarageBand. Okay.
Yeah, but and actually one of the maybe even better things is a mail client because
What
actually,
about a female client?
oh, Jay, let's not gender an email program, shall we?
Okay.
Like you of all people.
Well, I mean, but an email is made out of binary letters, so there's not yet a non-binary email client.
That's a clip. But remember, for the longest time, right? And I think for the longest time, the Mac had better Exchange support out of the back. The Mac had better Exchange support out of the box than Windows did. Microsoft's own operating system could not support Exchange out of the box. And
Yeah,
honestly,
the included apps are very good.
Yeah. It's just yes, they're not going to hold a candle to Microsoft Office for professional use, but they're very, very good. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, let me stop. Wow. Oh, that was a bit unpleasant. I'm so sorry, folks. I should have muted my mic. I need to put a mute button closer for future podcasts. Anyway. So, and that's what I'm saying, because you get a lot of value out of your Mac, right? That's my opinion, at least. You get so much value. Apollina, it's for your own good, Jay. What was that?
The 5-minute pun.
Oh, okay. So because we are streaming to Twitch, there's actually for a podcast. But hey, come on, watch our Twitch streams. They're a lot of fun. And YouTube streams, actually. We now we're doing YouTube as well. We're live streaming simultaneously for most of our live streams. We're doing both. Thank you,
Nice.
Meld. Thank you, Meld. Actually, someone remind me, I need to reach out to Cody at Mac Telecom Networks because he was complaining about XSplit. I think Meld, the Windows beta of Meld, would be brilliant for Cody.
Absolutely.
I just someone remind me to reach out to him. Anyway, so we have this thing where people can donate a certain number of channel points to make Jay not be allowed to do any puns for a whole 5 minutes.
That'd be a revenue goldmine. That will.
It absolutely is. It's like our revenue's jumped like 10 points since then. But the point I was making is I want to just say for me, the Mac platform right now is I didn't mean right now, Apollina. Thank you. That's really helpful. The Mac platform is maybe for me one of the best value, maybe one of the easiest to use platforms out there. Yes, the hardware is. Look, let's just be honest. Apple don't do cheap laptops.
No.
But do you want a cheap laptop? I mean, look at the garbage, and I mean garbage, but plastic garbage that HP and Dell and all the other makers.
The only one that I don't think is garbage is Lenovo, because I've got a ThinkPad, and that thing is a beast.
You're right, except you're talking in the business line of her laptops.
Oh, good
I'm
point.
talking of all the. Yes, the business. I mean, yeah. For most of them, like Dell's XPS range is really nice, but when you're talking the cheaper I'm going to call them the plastic laptops.
Yeah,
I think for the money that you would end up having to spend in a couple of years to replace it because it's cracked, it's failed, your better value is one of the M2 MacBooks. But even then, let's be honest, a refurbed M1 MacBook Air is still a fantastic machine right now.
Well, and not to like tangent, but just the benefits of the ecosystem. For instance, the universal control between iPad and Mac. In fact, I can access my iPhone from my Mac. Continuity camera. I've upgraded to using continuity camera, and I didn't even realize that continuity camera does leveling. And I've even been noticing it's when I'm looking at my monitor because my MagSafe. I've got a little MagSafe thing for top of my monitor. It's making my eyes look like I'm actually looking at the camera, even though I'm looking down.
I hadn't even thought about that actually.
Yeah, because it has to be it has to be on your monitor or like right by it, and it makes it. They do they do something. It's part of Center Sage, but they do some stuff with the camera, make it look like you're looking at the.
I remember them talking about that. Yeah, it is part of that's really clever because you're using continuity camera right now, aren't you, Alex? I think.
Oh, I think all three of us are, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Well, Jay is because so. That I mean, look, it is brilliant. The ecosystem is brilliant, but that transitions into something that we need to talk to you about, folks, because you might have noticed that we disappeared from the internet for one of us did. I was still around. It's a bit, so I'm just going to issue a little bit of a content warning. We are not that it's a bad thing, but just for those who may want to skip this bit, if it depends your mindset. We're going to talk a little bit about mental health because Jay, you probably want to share something with everyone a little bit.
Yeah.
So can I just let me start. Hey, Jay, you want to share something with us? Pause. Jay, try. I'm conscious of time, and you need to go as well.
Yeah.
So try and keep it succinct, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Awesome.
So I wanted to take my life, and I sought professional help over it because it got really bad, and it's just so hard to talk about. But I had to seek professional help, and I was in inpatient services for a while, and I'm currently now going through outpatient. For right now, we are doing a huge push to raise money for a mental health charity called "To Write Love on Our Arms." They're an organization that raises awareness as well as provides a hotline and also provides funding for treatment programs. So 2 pushes. If you're out there and you are wondering if you're struggling and you need help, our Twitch channels are there, our Discord's there for you to hang out, but also Crosswires and NetSource hotlines will get you to a hotline in your country, and it'll find one that's local to you. Please, please seek help.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad I did, because otherwise I would not be here today. And it was that bad. And the other thing is, we are raising money for To Right Love on Our Arms. We're trying to raise, no, we will raise $1,000.
Yep.
If you go to crosswires.net/charity, the money goes directly to the organization. We are just using Twitch's charity program to
Pass it
facilitate it.
on.
So that,
Yeah. Mhm.
exactly. So that way the money goes directly to them. But yeah, crosswires.net/charity. Even if it's just $1, $5, anything that if you're in a position to give, you can literally save lives. You can save lives like mine, because people who donated to the organizations that I reached out to saved my life. And again, crosswires.net/charity, even just $1 can save a life. Thank you for letting me have this space to share.
Absolutely, and I mean, I can say I've obviously struggled with mental health. And Alex, I don't know how much you feel comfortable with, but I think is it fair to say everyone at some point has
Everyone
struggled?
has, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that's
it's difficult. Yeah.
yeah. But can I just say, Jay, I'm really glad you're still here. I'm proud to have you as my business partner and my fiance. But you know what? That wraps up this wonderful chat, and I'm really glad we got to hang out tonight. Alex, as always, do you know, I want to say this, like, I've been so glad to see from your first, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way, your first ever episode on this show, where I don't think you were necessarily as comfortable as maybe you wanted to be.
Yeah.
How far you've come now?
I know. So that was when was that? That was last.
No, 2022.
Okay, so that is around the time I started doing YouTube videos, and so yeah, I look back at stuff I filmed for Hostify back then and think, "Ew." And even my first podcast with Cody from that same year was a bit. "Ew." So
Oh, Creative Spotlight,
yeah,
yeah.
and I look back at stuff I've done this year, and it's huge. It comes with practice speaking on
Yeah,
camera. So
definitely.
yeah, it's good fun. Always good, always good.
Yeah, Alex, where can people find your fantastic content?
There's I've got a large amount of interests in all different aspects of anything. So
Yes.
there's the interface.uk for regular technology news, I guess, and automotive news. Less Apple stuff than usual, but there's a lot more. There's a lot of stuff on there for everyone, and I do car reviews on YouTube, but also UI Chat podcast for if you're into technology stuff, you're probably listening or watching to this. So that's a Ubiquity podcast. We discuss all things networking stuff. Me and Evan's a proper networking professional, so
If you ever need to compare access points,
oh
Evan's
my
your
god,
man.
yeah. He's compared everything. So
Also,
yeah,
can I
thank
just
you.
say, yeah, no, my pleasure. Just a little plug. Obviously, love UI Chat, but your most maybe not your most recent. Was it your most recent? We had Chris Sherwood from Crosstalk Solutions.
Yeah, that was last it was September, and we've got Cody on in December, which he's really looking forward to. Which really really good. So
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Cody
really good.
Cody McCallum is, and we've had Cody on the show a long time ago. Great guy.
He's awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Canadian, so what do you expect? Anyway, look, we are doing some housekeeping around here as well. We really should do an episode on this, but with all the WordPress drama that's been going on over the last couple of months, we are going to be moving our website. So don't panic. We'll make sure everything is handled properly. We've got some really. Jay's been making sure that our old links will work. She's literally. I think in December she's going to tie my hands, twist my arm around my back until I actually set up a server to make this possible. But we are going to be moving. But podcast episodes, you can always find them now at podcast.crosswires.net, which is powered by Castos. Until next time, we will roll that outro.
Hold on. Siri is telling me that the podcast should actually be rolling that outro because that's more proper.
All right. Let me now if I can I stop recording without us dropping offline? But I think actually we all probably need to. It's getting late. Jay, you've got dinner plans.
Yeah.
And Alex, it's quite late for us. But hey, we
Got
managed
stuff
to
to do.
have an event, an Apple event, probably with all the fluff we'll take out, like under a 2-hour Apple event, Apple announcement stuff. And we did a lot in there, so I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, it's good.
Let me stop. Folks, we will see you soon. Thank you ever so much, everyone. Bye. And there we go. That has stopped the recording and stopped us live.